Every business or worker has one way or the other identified a problem to which he or she seeks to find a solution or a gap which he or she seeks to fill up. This leads to the topic for this conversation for this week on KEYPOINT, the importance of market analysis and branding businesses. So I have in the studio with me Mr. Kamaludini Tagba, Mr. Daniel Agbebleu, he's a regular on the show, and our special guest for today, Efi Sabute, who is into branding, designing, and all that. So I wouldn't want to waste much time. The topic already says importance of market analysis and business branding. So first of all, we have to establish what market analysis is. So I want to start with Mr. Kamal.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate for having me today. It's been an honor to be in your studio. When you invited me for this show, I started thinking about what I'll be talking because I'm very much interested in finance and capital raising. So when we talk about market analysis, it's all about knowing the video segment of a market that could be interested in your product. Because most times we just design a product and put it out front into the market without knowing what is our market persona. So at the end of the day, if we don't get to sell a product, we start complaining, abusing the state. Okay, the state is not doing well, the market is not fit. So the market analysis is what prepares you to really put out your product out there so that you minimize the risks. Because however good your product is, there could be some people who might not be interested in them. So to minimize the risks of loss, you need to do market analysis to know what you should be expecting from your buyers or your customers, and then also how to make some profit from the products you are putting out there. So that's what I can say for now.
Okay. That's a very extensive explanation, but I also go to our agribusiness personnel here.
Okay, it's nice to be here, and as usual, I would like to send my lovely greetings to our viewers outside there. And when we talk about market analysis, it's a systematic examination of market conditions, like the demand, the trends, customer, we call something psychographics. Okay. What impacts customers to come for your product, and other economic factors that can push people to buy your stuffs. So that's all what market analysis is about.
Okay, you've all made various points with regards to market analysis, because we know the market is not just a one thing. You are into agribusiness, agroeconomy, so definitely he is into venture capitalism and all that. So there will be some slight differences in terms of the market analysis. But I believe there are certain key points or factors that we have to consider. So I will want to start with you, Mr. Daniel.
Okay, and when we talk about markets, we get different kind of market. But the analysis, it goes to all the markets. You cannot have a market without analysis. So we usually deal with the demands. And the competition, and also the trends. And most of the time, we used to control the trends. We have up trends and down trends. Okay. When there are more buyers on the market, people will see the trends are high. Okay. So sellers, they are happy. But you get the negative aspect. You get more sellers outside there, and the buyers are few.
Sure.
And so that side, the trends goes down. So we take care of the trends, one, the competition, those on the market before you arrive, and substitution also, because it is a business space and someone will prefer another product to your product due to some
qualities or differences.
You get it. So that's it.
So Mr. Kamal,
still just putting more flesh on what he said, I just want to say also that when it's come to this market analysis, most times we kind of narrow it down a little bit, but we also need to do this what we call macroeconomic analysis of the market, because when we take Togo, for example, it is a very relatively small market, and then sometimes your product might not be designed for the Togolese market. You need to, maybe your product is designed for Ghana. Okay. Your customers are Ghanaians or Nigerians, whatever. So we need to do macro analysis of the market to know what are the trends, as you said, and also what are the government policies that are in line with what I'm doing. So, for example, if you are design a product for Nigeria, you should know what Nigeria's government has put in there as a regulation to allow your product to come in. So oftentimes we don't do that. We design a product. When we bring it to Nigeria, the Nigeria custom will say we don't allow such product here. So it is being rejected at the end of the day. So we need to do that. We need to learn from. We need to get information on the various regulations that are actually organizing the market, and also need to know the various stakeholders of such a market. As you pretty much know about what we call marketing, we have what we call blue ocean and red ocean. And sometimes some of the market, there are so many sharks in there, and you might not know, and you design your product and you see that your competitors are even stronger than you. So at the end of the day, you have a product, but you can sell because your competitors are more equipped. They have relations. They have a better knowledge of the market. They've been in the market for so many years. So you need to do that analysis. Maybe you can venture into what we call blue market, where there is almost no one, and you start coming up proposing new product, and then people will say, okay, this is a new product. Then you will enjoy for a while. Then after, people will be jumping into as well. So these are some of the things we also need to consider. Sometimes you don't need to go out there like everyone. Okay. After the market analysis, you can say, okay, I don't want to do this business. I would rather do a different business, so that you save yourself some downturns. Okay. So that's it, yeah.
Thank you very much for the extensive. So we are moving through FE. They spoke about branding. When you're going into the market, you've analyzed all the trends, all the red and the blue oceans, all the competitions. You want to come up with a product that will be unique. So first of all, what is branding and what is brand identity?
Okay, first of all, thank you, and I appreciate it to be here to be the guest of this emission, this episode. So for me, branding refers to the practice of creating a unique name, unique brand, unique design and image for a brand, for a business, to differentiating his business to other business. Okay. So it encompasses the overall experience a customer has with a company, its product and its services. Brand identity is the collection of all brand elements that a company creates to portray the right image of itself to the consumer. Okay, this is especially for me.
Okay, now from your submissions, I noted very few things. Talking about, first of all, the name you have to choose for the business.
Yes.
Talking about the design you have to choose for the business.
Yes.
Talking about the right image you have to portray for such a business. Now, I suppose those are some of the things you have to consider. So imagine someone comes to you and tells you, I want my logo to look like this. I want the name to be written this way. I want this certain color. What are some of the 3 factors you consider when you are doing a branding for someone?
Okay, first of all, I asked him about his target audience.
Okay, audience.
The target audience is very, very important to know the main target, the people who will see this logo, who will try to think like the real consumer, to buy the product of this company. And secondly, about the differentiating and the positioning. Yes, because we can clearly have a good positioning, but we can have the same differentiating with the concurrent
competitor.
Yes, with the competitors. Sorry. So I ask about the consistency. The consistency is about maintaining a coherent brand message, visuals and values across all platforms and points of customer interaction. So with these 3 or 4 elements, I can have some good points to improve the logo or to create a new logo.
Okay, so I'm just trying to go through just some of you for a particular reference. So we have to consider the target audience of the company and then the real consumers as well, looking at the differentiating and the positioning of such a company or the branding, and also the consistency. Because I'm asking this because I watched a documentary where, I mean, they were doing, should I call it a screenplay of different logos over time.
Yes.
I mean, I will come to why people do that, though, but before then, that is why I noted that there should be some considerations or factors to look up to when you are branding. So I'm moving now to Mr. Kamal. He spoke about target audience or the real consumers, but you also spoke earlier about knowing if your product will meet a particular market. This brings me to the question, what is consumer behavior?
Yeah, consumer behavior is what motivates someone to go for your product, and that's what in the world of entrepreneurship we talk about persona. That is the term we call persona.
Okay.
Persona is about defining what your typical customer is. What are the various colors that he likes? What is his purchase power? What are the various places that he visits? It all depends on the businesses you are into.
Okay.
So you need to know, you need to provide, or you need, yeah, for sure, you need to know some specific information about the person before you design the product. Maybe you design a phone, the person, I don't want to be a bit
Stereotypical.
this is stereotypical. Women, for example, would like maybe a cover, a specific cover
Okay.
for their phone. Now you'll be designing a cover that is not women-like. And the women will not be buying your product. You'll be saying, these women are not really interesting. So if you know the persona, the person you are dealing with, that is a specific definition of your customer, then you know the color the person likes, the design he likes or she likes. Even the age is very important. You cannot design a product for a 60-year-old man that will be bought by someone who is 20. That's impossible. If you do that, then the youth will be left alone, left out, sorry. Then your product may not be having good attraction. So you need to define the persona. The persona is very important for you to first of all think when it's come to design the product. The idea is out there, but when you know the specificities of your customer, that will help you redesign the product so that when it gets to the market, you don't suffer too much. Sometimes, for sure, the definition of the persona might not be 100% accurate, but that helps you to reduce the risks of rejection. So this is very important. So the motivation through which or by which the person buys your product is actually what we need to know beforehand, before going out there saying that we are putting a product out there in the market.
Right.
That's very key.
Thank you very much for. So, Mr. Daniel.
Okay, Mr. Kamal, I just said a lot of things, but what I would like to add is that when you are talking about customer behavior, it goes more into the psychology, what the customer think before buying, and what motivates the person coming for your product is also one. And this thing has moved to a certain level. Their belief, their confidence, their security. So if the customer doesn't feel secure when buying your product, the person will not buy. And even not to be somehow radical, some people, they will decide not to even watch a kind of program because the person hosting the program, they're having issue with. So it goes with reputation, the reputation you have outside there. So the customer check all these kind of things before giving his love to you. And you cannot do business without customer. And the last thing I would like to add also is the power of the customer in bargaining. It is very important because you have a product, and if you don't know how the person think, like you can go to a supermarket, they have a certain way of placing their stops. They can place something 2,000 francs CFA and beside that 10,000 CFA. They know they do not place it there just like that. They have a reason. Someone will come when you see 2,000, 10,000. Hey, I'm lucky to find one of the 2,000. He will pick it early and leave the 10,000 on alone. But it is a strategy. So if you know how the customer thinks, it will help you. Know how to.
I think that's. Submission equally links still into branding, because you spoke about colors as well earlier and other things. So what is the importance of branding, or why do we need to brand products or services that we have? Why do we need to brand them?
I would say that branding is important for several reasons, because it creates loyalty and recognition among customers, and it helps to improve the perception of the product for the customers, and communicates the value proposition and promise to the consumers, which helps in building that.
Okay, so we'll put a pause on that. We're going for a quick break. We are on the importance of market analysis and business branding. I have in the studio with me Effie Sabote. I also have Mr. Kamal Duni Tagba and Daniel Agbeblewu. We'll be going for a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Key Point. You can watch us every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. Catch a repeat same time on Sundays. And on YouTube is the Key Point playlist on the New World TV channel. And also on Facebook is the Key Point with double I. We are back in the studios and we are still talking about the importance of market analysis and business branding. So I'll move straight to the market analysts and then the entrepreneurs because they are giving more information and more insight. So we've spoken about the market analysis, the factors to consider. We spoke about the consumer behavior. I actually wanted to ask a question before we move to the next one. Can we really predict consumer behavior? I want to start with Sam Kamal.
Yeah, it's possible. We can predict we can ignite some reaction from the market. Sometimes we throw out a product out there, not just because we just want to sell it, but we just want to test the market, how people will be rushing towards it. Then when they rush towards it, we know that, okay, this has a taste. So people we're now going to fix it a little bit. And then maybe from there we'll do some survey in the market to see the reaction, some of the feedbacks that we get from the customers, and then redesign the product. So sometimes we can predict. Even statistics can allow us to even have kind of a projection of how the market will react when we have a product out there. So it is possible to do that. Yeah.
So before I move to Mr. Daniel, I actually watched a documentary on Nestle. I mean, they are a big company that make a lot of products. And in the documentary, they said if you want a product to succeed, you have to do products. For example, if I want a lady to buy something, I have to make the product more attractive for the man because the man is the one going to purchase. If I want to make a product for a child, I have to make it attractive so the mother can buy it for them. So how do you do with that? I mean, still coming to if you can predict consumer behavior.
The prediction, it is very important and it's quite easy. Because
easy?
It's very easy. Do you know why?
No.
If you take a customer, you use a product you do not know before you want to introduce your own to the market. It's a user of a product. So why does the customer use that product? What motivates him? What is his belief? What makes him love one product than the other? So it goes to the psyche. You know that these people, they think like this. And some people, they buy things according to their belief. And I'll give you a common example. Someone will decide not to chop pork meat because maybe he's a Christian or a Muslim. But someone who's not who's a traditionalist or who doesn't believe in those kind of stuff can easily eat that pork meat. So when you are going into the society, the target is very important. You need to have a target. If it is old men you want to sell your stuff to, you know that these old men in this part of the world, this is what they believe in. And these are the kind of things they are used to. And these are the, argument they can put out for the reasons they use those kind of items. So you analyzing all those kind of things, you try to bring it on your product. Like your product, what is it satisfying for the person? Once the person finds its satisfaction in your product, you come for it.
I mean, he spoke earlier about loyalty, though. I mean, how if you are predicting the possibility where the consumer behavior will change and all that, then there will be an issue with the branding because he spoke about branding, the importance, giving loyalty to the product. But I would want to move to him now on this session. What are some of the guidelines? If I want you to design something for me, what are some of the guidelines you give to me?
But I need to know your favorite colors, or the colors of the topics, to know a lot about it, to know about the fonts, how kind of fonts I need to use, your values, your mission, your goals, your differentiating strategy.
Okay.
So this kind of question, I will try to do to help you to fulfill this kind of questions.
Okay.
And after that, I will try to synthesize all and to try to merge all the answers and to propose first a brand book. After, I will try to have the logo, because the logo is not the brands.
Okay.
The logo is just after that, after the after answer these kind of questions. Yes.
So which means the logo is. I mean, when we talk about branding, the first thing that comes to my mind
it's
is
like
logo.
it's just like the face
Okay.
of your
business.
of your business. This is not the brand, the real business. It's not.
You want to make
It's just a symbol.
Okay.
Yes.
So the logo is just a symbol, but the brand, is what you are known for.
Yeah.
You know. And I talk about security, confidence. Somebody will try to buy Pepsi today, not because of the mark Pepsi, because Messi took Pepsi in one publicity or one advertisement. You will decide to go for Pepsi. So what you believe in most of the time is what brands you are, more than even the symbols and the stamps, messages you send on your.
Okay. Before I move back to you, I wanted to find out from you. Have you been in a situation where someone just came, okay, I want to create a particular product or brand, and the person leaves the work to you for you to decide everything?
Yes, I like it. I like this works because I have like free minds. I can do all I want.
The creativity is on your own.
Yes, the creativity is all for me. I have the whole creativity for me, but this is dangerous because you can finish the work and the customer, the client will say that he didn't like it. And you
have to start all over again.
all the works. So you need to help your clients to give you a lot of answer, a lot of informations to improve your works, to improve your logo or your brand identity works.
Okay, so we are back to market analysis. I'm starting with Mr. Daniel on this one. How do you identify the market and then the market demand actually, and then how do you meet them?
Okay, so concerning market demand, I believe in two strategies.
Okay.
Some people will do the survey, but the market research and the customer persona study is very, very important, because with the market research, you can go outside there and know what people are doing good and people are buying their products. If you are BB, you produce drinks, and SNB want to come on the market, they don't just come to the market. They study what BB is doing best.
Sometimes they might even buy your own product.
Taste it, compare to their own, and see the difference. How best they can make their own more than your own. And when that is done, what do you do to your people that makes them love you? And in today's world, everybody is a prospect. Your customer is my prospect. I can gain your customer right away if I get the proper strategy, how I treat you. So you study, when you go to the field, you can get all these informations. And when you know how the people buying a kind of product or the type of market you want to enter, how they behave, how they think, it will be easy for you to influence them and impact them. And once you get the trust of the customers, you are good to go into business. Because business without customers, you are going nowhere.
I can see you're really reiterating on that point. So, Mr. Kamal, market demand.
Market demands, for me, is all about some analysis that you do of the current trend in the market, and also some of the conversations that are going on. Because, like, for people like us who are into innovation, sometimes it's pretty difficult to abide by what the consumer wants, because we are in a country where there is no diversity in terms of product. Like, we are all doing copy and paste. Everyone is doing almost the same. So what we basically do is that we, from our knowledge or from our knowledge, we discuss with some stakeholders, okay, how are you guys going about this? We do investigation on the ground. How are you guys going about this? And don't you know that there is another way of doing it, right? What are your needs, for example? Like, I was with someone recently, and I was talking about branding. When I'm talking about branding, I want to talk about branding in terms of investment.
Okay.
And the person was telling me, I said, okay, I want to brand you. I want to help sectors or industries to brand themselves. The person said, this is actually what we need. But when you hear from lay Togolese in the street, it's not a topic.
Yeah, I mean,
But when you go to people, you address them, you bring out the issue, they will tell you, this is our need. If you can meet that, then that's fine. Then you start talking business. So sometimes, this is also hard sometimes to predict because it also depends on how educated the community is. Sometimes the community has a need, but it cannot translate that need into real product. That you as an entrepreneur, you have to go out there and talk to people. You say, okay, this is actually what you need. Then you do a test, you do a demo for them to see. If the demo is correct, then okay, they are ready to buy into it. So me personally, I've not been following trends.
okay.
I'm into what we call intellectual entrepreneurship, where we use knowledge to build product. So I talk to people, I listen to them, I said, do you guys know that this thing you are doing can be done otherwise?
So if I understand, you give alternative solutions.
I give alternative solution, but it turns out to be that these are real needs that they have, but the skills that they have right now do not allow them to meet those needs. So we come into play. So that's how we go about it. Sometimes if the community is not educated enough, like the US market is very smart. You can predict sometimes the need in the market.
Daniel
Yeah.
wants to make a
He
comment
doesn't
on
have
that.
ambition
Okay.
because sometimes I also believe it all depends on the ambition of the company. If the company is very ambitious, someone doesn't need to go into the larger market, but he has to look out for companies with big visions. So
I get so let's come to
You know,
Mr.
but
Daniel.
I totally don't agree with all he said.
Okay.
Because it will depend on the kind of market on which you are.
Okay.
The fact that one person hasn't been to school or is not educated, doesn't prevent him from using a product.
No, I think the factor is to indicate that the level of education of a particular community also plays into meeting the market demands. I think that's how I understand.
Yeah, that's what I'm coming to. I'm trying to tell you that this thing that he's saying right now, it depends on the kind of market. Because we get categories of market. You don't need to know whether the person is educated or not. I'll get a big business, the church business right now. Today, church is a business going on. And people,
Are you sure you want to say that?
No,
on
I'm
television?
giving an example, a typical example you will see.
Okay.
You will see one Dominion right now, they have a church right now, they are going. Someone will come with a new convincing people about their belief. They were told lies about the reality in the gospel. So there is something new every day. The thing is, when you are able to convince the target audience, that's where you will get it. So let's say somebody who wants to sell food, for instance, I'm giving an example. Someone doesn't need to be educated before shopping. But if you convince the person the reason why he's supposed to buy the food from you, the person will come and buy your
But
product.
I could equally disagree because imagine you are selling a product to me that you yourself you haven't even used. You haven't done any analysis. Because I'm uneducated, you can easily convince me.
Yeah.
But like he said, intellectual. If I'm I'm intellect, for example, it might need more than just your words to perhaps convince me. So I still believe that the level of education is still placed in this category. No, I understand your point. I just want to, emphasize on that aspect as well. But time wouldn't permit us. I'm going to.
No, I just want to add something because I like his opinion, but about
You also
the
disagree a little bit.
no, not disagree. Just
Okay.
add about the branding. By example, the problem there is that the branding is for the long time business,
Okay.
and I can say that selling is for
A
short time business.
Okay.
And a lot of people, a lot of our parents who are selling in the market, in the great market, at Grand Marché, they are selling this kind of products that they will try to sell fast.
Okay.
So they don't need to do branding or something
okay,
like this.
okay,
This is
okay.
my opinion. But the great problem is that people, entrepreneurs like me or other young people from my age, they don't know. They don't they don't know that they need to brand their business and to do like.
Let me not cut you short, but since we're already on the point, you already stipulated, I mean, some of the importance of branding. So we don't really have much time, so I would have to cut you, excuse me to say on that. Now, why do we need to rebrand? When should we and why do we need to rebrand?
We need to rebrand when the audience change. One example,
Okay.
if we find a new blue ocean, by example, we need to repositioning our product.
In the audience, the new blue ocean, and also the
By example,
repositioning. Also.
yes.
Okay. So I will now come to you. Well, we don't have much time, so we want to make it short. So I want you to tell me some of the benefits or importance of market analysis. I'll start with Mr. Kamal.
As I put it earlier on, market analysis is very important for you to curb some of the risks that you might face in the market, and also to protect your investment. If you don't do any market analysis, you're investing into vacuum, sorry. So at the end of the day, you say, okay, my product I didn't sell. It's just because you didn't do any market analysis, market research to understand what your market really needs and all that. The second thing is that market analysis also is very important for you to find the right customers that can buy your product. Sometimes you put out a product out there, you think everyone will buy. No, it's not everyone. Maybe your market share will shrink because you didn't do any research. So these are some of the things I think are relevant when it's come to doing market analysis. Also, you also need to know, as he said it, the blue ocean, the new trend, to know the new trend, the youths, what are the youths now, like someone who is now doing a lot of ads on Facebook. Facebook is no more like a big thing right now. It's rather TikTok. So if you don't know that TikTok is the right tool right now to do to do your ads there, then you are doomed.
Well,
so
for some who say you don't really follow trends, you are rather giving us tidbits on using social media.
No, I'm not, I don't really follow trend in the sense that I'm just speaking from general point of view.
Okay.
Because for me, it also depends on the vision that you have. Okay. Some entrepreneurs are into big vision. People like Elon Musk, because he's into space. Space, you have to deal with states. So it's a different type of market as he put it out. So this is what I can say. Yeah, thank you.
So Mr. Daniel.
Okay, I think he has said most of the things, but I would like to go to the designer's aspect. And I'll give the example of Nokia.
Okay.
Back in the days, Nokia was the biggest company when it comes to telecommunication and stuff. When Android started coming on the market, they were the potential holders of the market. They thought they have the people, they have the customers. So they didn't go for Android. Now Techno, Samsung, and other people, they go for Android. And today, Nokia is back on Android. But Nokia is not known when it comes to Android right now. So the rebranding thing is very important. And so that's what I would like to.
So any last words? You want to tell us something?
Last thing, I just want to say that brand is very important, but this is important when you know before who are your customers, what is your mission, your values, your goals, and you need to work on the market analysis before
you brand.
To brand, because a lot of people just come there and say, okay, do me just a logo, do me a brand book or something, but they don't have market analysis studies, and this is very, very problematic, yes.
So thank you very much. I'm once again very blessed to have your submissions on the show. I mean, it was diverse, so I'm very glad for that. So we've come to the end of the key point for this week. We spoke about the importance of market analysis and business branding. And I had in the studio with me Effie Sabute, who is a graphic designer, and then digital marketing expert. And also Mr. Kamal Duni Tagba, Mr. Daniel Agbeblo. I mean, he's a regular, so he's an agroeconomist and an entrepreneur. So viewers, we are very glad that every week you are with us on the show. You can follow us on Facebook, The Key Point with double I. And on YouTube is the New World TV, The Key Point playlist. You can watch the program every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. And catch a repeat same time on Sunday. It's a bye.